Hi everyone, and welcome back to Svetlana's Corner. I'm Svetlana. The reason I said back is some of you guys have messaged me and you asked me if I stopped filming, if I'm closing the channel, anything like that, just because I haven't filmed a couple of months now. And so the answer to both is no. I am still filming. Obviously, I am filming. But I did take a bit of an absence, and there is a reason for that one. So we're going to get into that in the next video. But first, if you have somebody incarcerated, if you're living in a day-to-day life of what it's like to have a loved one that's behind those walls, whether it's jail or prison, that everyday life of advocating for someone and the challenges it presents, then this channel might be one you might want to subscribe to. Anyway, so without babbling a little more, let's go into the video.
I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Alright, so we are back, and some of you may notice Svetlana's Corner is actually not really in the corner. I'm in a motel room. My daughter's bed is behind me. Yeah, not a perfect setup, but let me see, where did I leave off? I can't remember when I recorded last, but I had a bunch of videos. They're on the camera. They're lost somewhere. So if I find them, I'll upload them. If I don't find them, well, it's a little bit of old news, so it is what it is. In August of 2024, my husband was moved from West Coast, so Oregon, to the East Coast, where he's actually originally from. So right now I am here in Connecticut, USA. So why am I in Connecticut? Well, because the drive was fun. No, I'm in Connecticut because if you have a loved one behind those walls, you understand that communication matters. Running your family, the day-to-day life matters. Now, he had a lot of stuff going on. He was pressing legal action against something that the Department of Correction was doing, and he had a full right to do so. But as retaliation, he was sent back home. So out of Oregon, he was sent back to Connecticut, where he did start his sentence. And then there was no communication. They put him into a segregation unit, and that was part of that retaliation. So you got no tablets, no phones, no mail. You have no way to have a relationship. Your kids have no way of contacting him or seeing him. There's no video visits, and I can get into that for a long time, but basically their answer for the video visit is safety and security. So I don't know what Department of Corrections thinks that people do with a computer screen, but I don't know how that's less secure than in-person visit, but it is. So anyway, we had no communication, zero, for a long time. And as many of you know, we have started a nonprofit. It's a We Got This nonprofit organization. We incorporated that about a year and a half ago, and the goal of that is to help those that are incarcerated and their families with legal help, with mental health resources, with just various resources that are out there. And it's very hard to run a company when you can't communicate. The two of us are running that company, but we have zero communication. Really hard to do. So those were some of the factors of why I chose to take this trip from West Coast Canada to East Coast US. The very, very long, I don't even know how many miles trip. And right now, like I said, I'm in a motel, and this is going to be my workspace for the next while. So we can actually see him, so we can actually have a company to run. So I do want to get into a lot of things, but I don't want to cram that all into one video because you're going to be here for hours. So basically things I might do in the videos is everyday life, because I mean my daughter and I are in a motel room, and yeah, you're trying to figure out how to make it work, you know, how to live through suitcases and bins and things like that. So yeah, finding ideas on how to make this into a home for the next few months, it's a whole other topic. Now that we are having video visits and in-person visits, that's great personally, but I also want to go hard or bigger to really get our company going, because I think that people need to know that this is what DOC does. When you do good things for yourself, when you advocate for yourself, when people that love you advocate for you, when attorneys advocate for you, they'll retaliate. And they don't just retaliate by something small, it goes big. They'll send you all the way across the country to make sure that your family doesn't get to see you. And that's not okay. If they don't want to abide by rules, that's not okay. But it definitely is not a justification for breaking the whole we make families have connection and all that stuff that they promise. That's definitely not okay. So there's so many things that they do that is wrong. That is corruption. And as taxpayers, you pay for it. It's one of the things I do encounter a lot. People do say, well, these people are criminals, so they're locked away, so who cares about their rights? All right, so let's say I'm not going to justify anything or anybody. I mean, there's people in here for, or inside for different reasons, and some are innocent, by the way. But let's say all of these are really bad people, and they're locked away. Okay, but they're still human, and humans have human rights. But the biggest issue for you watching this to think about is your paycheck. There's a portion of it that goes towards the government, towards the Department of Corrections, towards judges and commissioners and wardens and everything that involves. So when they bill people for certain things, when my husband's supposed to get surgery, it's paid for out of your pocket. So just because he doesn't get surgery because he's a bad guy, for example, he is a horrible guy, he's a bad guy, he doesn't deserve that surgery, you're still paying for it. So whether you believe incarcerated individuals should have rights, here's something else to think about. You're still going to be paying for it. You're voting with your tax dollars. You're voting with your money. So when you go grocery shopping and you see the prices going up and everything else, that's money that you could have extra in your pocket for yourself, for your kids, whatever that may be. So those people that are demanding their rights, that's their rights. They didn't lose them. There's certain rights they lost when they got incarcerated, and certain rights that are still in the Constitution that they do have. So when those rights are taken away, your wallet is still paying for them. But where's the money go? There's a book that my husband has. It's called The Rich Get Richer and the Poor Get Prison. Sometimes that quote actually just by itself fits. Your money goes into somebody's pocket. So these people are not getting their rights. Doesn't mean that they get what they deserve to pay for their crime. No, it means somebody takes your money. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent here, and those are topics I do want to keep covering. So, yes, I am back, sort of, because I never went away. It's just a very long trip that had to be planned, and a lot of frustrations with the DOC that took place, and a lot of learning curves of going from one communication system to another, legal mail that had to get to him that he still hasn't received. It's been more than months and years, and like I said, the corruption's insane, but there's a lot that we've been dealing with, and pretty much that is it. So I hope that you will join me in the next several videos. Like I said, hit that subscribe button if this resonates with you in any way. If there are topics you want me to cover, let me know. I'm happy to cover them. Otherwise, what I'd like to get into is the everyday life, the everyday corruption that's out there. You may see it and not realize you're seeing it, or you may not see it and it's going on in front of you every single day. So that is where I'm gonna leave you with. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for sending those messages. I love them all. I do read them all. I'm the one answering them all. Keep them coming, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.